Kia ora, good evening. This is Mary Joseph. I'm coming live from Hamilton. This is AJV Services. We are an education and migration services company. We do come live every week. For those who are not aware of our channel or not aware of our broadcast, I'll do a quick brief introduction. So we are an education and migration services company, and we are based out of Hamilton. We basically assist migrants to New Zealand through various pathways to be able to come here to New Zealand and look for various pathways to settle in the country. Now, we do this through various, sorry, I'm just going to quickly mute my phones that might ring at any point in time. So yeah, as we're based in New Zealand, we are able to provide you first-hand information about the pathways available, provide you with a realistic picture of what to expect if you're taking any of those pathways. There are very few pathways available, but we will assess to see which pathway you're suitable for based on your background, based on your qualifications, your experience, and your goal. Are you looking at it as a temporary goal, or are you looking at a long-term goal? So we are about 35 people on the team with about 5 licensed immigration advisors. We are spread across the world. We've got 2 licensed advisors right now in India. We've got 1 operating out of Malaysia, and we are 2 of us here in New Zealand. I'm sure a lot of you would be aware of Arun Jacob, who is our senior most licensed advisor, and he's also the director of the company. And both of us, we are based here in Hamilton. So when you do connect with us, you can be assured to receive friendly and frank immigration advice and be provided with all the opportunities that are available across the border, across the pathway of migration, and not just one particular pathway. I know there will be a lot of people do think that we try and encourage a lot of people to come in on student visas. That is because majority of the people do not qualify for various other pathways. Unfortunately, New Zealand's direct migration pathway is very, very strict, and a very small percentile of people do qualify for direct migration from overseas. The most common pathway is a student visa, and that is the reason we do offer that, and it has been very successful as a pathway as well. We have a lot of success stories to talk about it, right? So that's what we are, AJV Services. So before I start reading out the comments, start talking about immigration and start providing you immigration advice, I'm required to show my license card. So that's my license card. You can go on the immigration advisor, the authority website, that's IAA, and check. So anybody providing immigration advice is required to provide evidence that we are licensed and also tell you if there are any limitations on our license. So it is a mandatory requirement. So here you go. That's my license, and my license number is 2018011050. My name is Mary Faustina Joseph, or you can just look up Mary Joseph. Right. So moving on, some ground rules of this session. Number 1, if you are an AJV student, you start your question with, "Hi, I'm an AJV student or an AJV client, and this is my query." And also, please do provide details of your advisor. If you do have that, it'll be easy for me to check with your advisor immediately, because my team is supporting me with, on Skype separately whenever I need an update. So please do provide me your advisor's details. Besides that, if you are a non-AJV client, please do provide me with your contact number. Only then I will be able to answer to your queries, right? So before normally there is a bit of a lag in terms of the inquiries or the questions. So till then, I will basically talk about one of our government polytechnics, one of our institutions. That's what we are doing every week. Now we start off with a topic. We talk about one of the schools, so that we allow some time for people to make comments and ask their questions. But all those who are non-HAV, please ensure you do mention your phone number for me to be able to answer. Only then I'll be able to answer. Otherwise, I might have to skip through your question. Okay, right. So today I'm going to talk to you about Otago Polytechnic. So Otago Polytechnic, it's also called OP in short. They are a government polytechnic, an institute of technology and polytechnic, and they are owned and governed and run by the government of New Zealand. So Otago Polytechnic was firstly actually the main campus is located in Dunedin, which is in the region of Otago. Sorry, it is in Otago in the region of Dunedin, and I'm sorry, it's in the city of Dunedin in the region of Otago. And so what happens is these government polytechnics, the way they have been laid out initially, is that there is one institution in one particular region, and they work towards providing employable workforce into the community. So that is their goal. So if you look at it, except for Auckland, all the other cities will have, all the other regions will have only one government polytechnic. For example, in Waikato, we've got Wintech, which is Waikato Institute of Technology. Then you've got in Otago, you've got Otago Polytechnic. In Christchurch, Canterbury region, we've got Ara Canterbury. Then in Nelson Marlborough and Nelson, we've got NMIT. In EIT, we've got Hawke's Bay. And then in Napier, we've got UCall. We've got, there are smaller polytechnics as well. In Veltech, we have we've got in Wellington. They also have, because Wellington is a relatively bigger city, they have two polytechnics. We've got Fitaria Polytechnic as well over there. Fitaria is also there in Wellington, and in Auckland we've got the main two government polytechs were Unitech and Manukau Institute of Technology. Then depending on the demand, depending of wanting, a lot of people have been wanting to study in Auckland. Hence, many of these polytechnics set up their small campuses in Auckland as well, providing only limited programs. So likewise, Otago Polytechnic also set up a campus in Auckland, and they do have very, very limited programs that they run in Auckland. So the Auckland campus does provide programs in business and IT predominantly at graduate and postgraduate levels. And you've got, but however, the Dunedin campus does have a range of programs in health and community. They've got programs in creative, they've got programs in hospitality, they've got business and tourism program, physical activity and well-being, that's in sports science, and they've got natural sciences. They also do have a graduate level programs in construction engineering and trades. So they do have a range of programs in the Otago campus. However, as I said, the more popular campuses, they do have it in Central Otago, in Dunedin and Auckland. So in Auckland, they have, as I said, the facility is smaller. We have, however, visited their Auckland campus. They're right in the city center on Queen Street. And I think they occupy about 4 or 5 floors in that building. The programs that they offer in the Otago, in the Auckland campus are, as I said, bachelor's levels, right from applied management, bachelor's level, graduate diplomas, postgraduate diploma, and an applied management. We have many graduates from this particular program, from the applied management masters and the PG diploma, and many of them have progressed into finding jobs and being able to apply for the resident visa. And they also are very, very good with their graduate diploma and IT program. They have that located in Auckland, and they also have a bachelor's in information technology. the Auckland campus also has a construction diploma program, a diploma in construction and quantity surveying, and they also have a bachelor's in construction at the Auckland campus. So they do have very, very limited options. However, anyways, a lot of students are looking at going to Auckland, especially the ones that want a master's degree purely because the spouses can accompany them on the master's program. So with regards to the facilities of Otago Polytechnic, I have personally, we have in fact, Aruna and myself did go there and conduct a migration seminar for the students there at a graduate and postgraduate level. So their learning concept, they have a very open floor classroom concept. Their facilities are very good. I have visited their library and their computer IT department and things like that. So they are there is there is relatively smaller campus in Auckland. However, the support services that they provide students is very, very good. Besides that, they also have a career center, and they do a lot of these activities where they assist students in understanding how to be able to go out there and find themselves a job and things like that. So they're very, very supportive as a team, the Auckland campus, and we have very good working relationships with Otago Polytechnic, and we do recommend their program strongly. So yeah, so that's about it. As I said again, Dunedin campus does have a range of programs, and it's a government polytechnic, so quality wise there is no problem in the delivery of the program. Besides that, if you go to a city like Dunedin, the cost of living, in fact, Dunedin is called to be the student central of New Zealand, so it's got a very, very vibrant student life over there. I've got one of my friends who's actually she's studying at the university, but she's studying in Dunedin, and she always has very good things to talk about the place. So it is definitely an amazing city to work in. Part-time jobs is not so much a concern, and it's also close proximity to Christchurch and Canterbury region. So if you can always relocate if you think that you want to relocate after finishing your program. So that's the advantages. If you're able to find a job within Dunedin, that's great, because it'll also give you additional points to your resident application through the SMC category if you do qualify at some point in time in the future. So we do strongly recommend Otago Polytechnic, and there is no questions about their program delivery or their quality. AJB completely vouches for their programs, right? Okay, so I think I've spoken enough about Otago Polytechnic. We can now move on and start attending to the questions. All those who have not provided me phone numbers, I will have to simply skip your questions and move on. So please do provide me your phone numbers before I quickly move on to the questions. Let me see if there is anything my team is telling me. Okay, right. Okay, right, looks like we're good there. Okay, so I have my lovely team who joined as well. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, I see a couple of questions already here, comments here. Syed, Deep, if you guys can please do come back and provide your contact details, I'll be able to answer that for you. I've got Uchita Diaz who's also asking me a question about trade pathways. So sorry, I won't be able to answer that unless you give me your phone number. Albin Thomas, General Nursing Program, I'd say again, if you can please give me your phone number, I'll be able to answer that for you. Okay, so this is a YouTube query. We've got Pratik Billare, who says, without doing a program in NZ, can I apply for PR in NZ? I have 5 years of experience in construction. Also, my highest qualifications is masters in structures. Okay, Pratik, as I just mentioned, direct migration is almost ruled out, because you need to have either a job offer letter from New Zealand or from a New Zealand employer, along with getting 160 points. and also you need to, or the other thing is you need to have a 2 years masters that you have studied in New Zealand. So the system, this is under the SMC skilled migrant category. So if you are keen to look at a resident visa, then you will have to either apply for jobs online and be offered one, which is very, very difficult. However, there are a lot of construction engineers required in New Zealand. There is a good chance that somebody will see your profile and make an offer as well. I have someone who's got about 12, 13 years of experience who was offered a job in New Zealand directly in the area of construction and project management. So, and it was an amazing offer. So, but this person had worked in overseas, say in Singapore and Malaysia and a couple of other places with high profile projects, and that is the reason he was able to get this job directly. So in your situation, Pratik, it's going to be a chance that you need to take. If you want to be, if you want to have a more stable pathway, then you will have to consider taking the student pathway. As I started off my session saying, we don't push people. I know I hear this feedback from a lot of people, oh, you're pushing us into study. Unfortunately, that's the only pathway available at this stage. Direct migration is not possible. As I said, you need to get 160 points along with either having a 2 years masters that you have studied in New Zealand, which automatically is the student pathway, or you need to have a employment from New Zealand, which again is very, very difficult because employers wouldn't want to offer you a job when you're overseas because the risk is very high. So you'll be expected to be in New Zealand with a valid job offer. So, and there is no other or work visa category where it's like for some country nationalities, some nationalities, they do have a working holiday visa. For them, there's an open work visa where they can come here and work. But unfortunately, for students from the Southeast Asian countries, they do not have that opportunity. So unless and until you're offered a job, it is going to be impossible. The other magic formula that we have kind of put together is 5 years of work experience will not be enough to get that 160 points. I have probably calculated about 1,000 profiles so far, and the magic figure is to have minimum 8 years of experience, masters, and married to a postgraduate. You also need to be a postgraduate, and your spouse will also have to be a postgraduate for you to be able to get that 160 points. If any of these do not match, it's highly unlikely that you'll get that 160 points. So we have done a lot of permutations and combinations, and this is what we have come down to. Has to be minimum 8 years of experience, and both have to have a master's qualification. If only one person has a master's qualification, then you need to have 10 years of experience. So this is the magic combination that we have come up with. However, as I said, the best thing for you to do is hear us out. Okay, one of our team members will contact you. Look at your risk. You need to calculate your risk. Have a word with my team. And if you still think that it's not worth it, then you can have a no obligation conversation with us. So Pratik, my team will connect with you, share your details, and my team will explain to you. It takes is 5 minutes of your time to talk to us. We do not ask you money on the first call, or we do not charge for our applications by and large. So it's better that you just have a word with one of our team members. We will assess your profile and see how it is. And if we are advising you student pathway, calculate your risks and see whether your return of investment is good. Then you can trust me. A lot of them initially think that it's not required, but when you speak to us, you realize that possibly student pathway is the way to go. Okay. All the best, Pratik. Do please speak to one of my team members when they do reach out to you. Yeah. Thank you. Dushyant Nair says, hi, I'm an AJV client. I just wanted to know any updates on my visa process has started or not. I got the offer from Canterbury, University of Canterbury. I also wanted to know if the August intake has been postponed or something. Please let me know. Okay, Dushyant, let me quickly, I see one of your, your visa officer, Anne, has said that you have an offer for the August 2020, and my team tells me that you are waiting for your education loan. So can you clarify if you have got the loan, because without that we cannot apply for the visa. Okay, so you will need to show proof of funds available. So we are waiting on that, Dushyant. So if you can update us whether you've got your loan or not. I know India at the moment, banks are all closed, and some of them are operating two days in a week or something. Do go back to your bank and talk to them and find out what's happening about your loan. Without that, we won't be able to move forward. Okay, right. Um, Next question we've got from Satpal Singh Rajput Shekhwat. That's a long name, Satpal. Okay, I'm going to call you Satpal. Right. Any chance for Mason? Can I apply for a work visa? Satpal, I just explained. As I said, it's going to be very difficult for you to find jobs directly. So these are trade skills. It's even more difficult to get jobs with trade skills directly. Why don't you just contact us? We'll see. Because again, direct work visas are not possible. You have to have an employer to offer you, and we do not provide employment services at this stage. We only provide migration services. That means if you do have an offer, we'll help you with your visa. We are unable to find you a job at this stage. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Omoyen Yeni, I just answered the same thing about the work visa. You had the same question, so I would request you to, I'm sure you heard my answer for that. Okay, we've got Manthan Soni who says, what is the process of business PR? Manthan, you have not given us your number, but I request you to send us an email to info@hjvglobal.com with your details, with your CV, with your experience of running a business or your investment plan, and we'll be able to provide you some additional information on that. You can email us at info@hjvglobal.com. Okay, right. Okay. Dushant, my team is also telling me that you want to know if the intake has been postponed. At this stage, we are proceeding to make applications for the July-August intake. We are hoping and anticipating that the border restrictions will be lifted by then. However, we are not sure at this stage. It's a little too early for us to anticipate that. However, Immigration New Zealand right now, their offices are closed, especially the India office. Some of the only a very limited staff here in New Zealand is working, and because of which I cannot predict and tell you what's going to happen. If your loan comes through, we will still go ahead and apply for the August intake, and if it gets deferred, obviously we will have to defer it. This is an unprecedented situation, so we don't know. Like we Arun also mentioned in the previous live session about the COVID situation. He discussed at length. He told you about that. So, and we've been talking about the COVID situation on and off at every of our live sessions. So we need to only unfold it as the day goes. We cannot really anticipate what will happen tomorrow. I cannot tell you. We'll just have to take each day as it comes. Okay. But right now, I can tell you confidently that New Zealand has taken good control of the situation. Our numbers have been, pretty much we're kind of flattening the curve. However, we do have cases that are coming up. So we are due to finish the lockdown next week, but we don't know, that may or may not be extended. So we just have to wait and see how this pans out. Okay, Dushyant. So just stay in touch with us, and all I can say, stay positive and keep moving ahead with your process. It's a very temporary thing. It's not going to be forever that the borders, New Zealand as a country cannot survive if we shut our borders and keep it. So we are making efforts to eradicate the disease and open up our borders as soon as possible. We're trying. The country is working together. We have one of the most strict lockdowns when compared across the world. So yeah, we will be up and running very, very soon. It's only a matter of time. Okay. Thank you, Dushant. Okay. Next question, we've got Sunil Kumar. He says, hi, Mary, I'm an EGV client under UNIS guidance. Do you have any additional points when we completed the studies outside Auckland, especially in Christchurch or Wellington? Sunil, thanks for coming in and asking this question. So you don't have points for studying outside Auckland, but you do have points for getting a job outside Auckland. It's not studying. You do get points, however, for 1 year postgraduate study or 2 years postgraduate study, you get additional bonus points, but not for only studying in that location. So, irrespective of whether you study in Auckland or Christchurch, the points that you will be getting for your course or your study will be the same. It doesn't matter. The points will add a lot of benefit only if the points will be increased, or will be more only if you find a job outside Auckland, because you get 30 points extra for finding an employment outside Auckland. This is the effort of the government to declutter Auckland, because our housing and prices in the city is becoming very, very overcrowded. So the housing rates are going up, and it's quite a challenge with the traffic, and pollution, of course, will be a problem, rising problem. So that's the reason the government is making conscious efforts of decluttering Auckland and having people move across into other cities as well. And it is for also the development of the individual regions. So that's the plan. Okay, right, Sunil. I hope I have answered that correctly for you. Okay, Dushyant, I note that you have a loan approved. That's awesome. So as I said, go ahead and apply for the visa. Do not wait. Okay, thank you. Okay, next question, next comment we've got Adil Ahmed. He says, is any impact on engineering job market due to the current situation? Well, Adil, I don't have your phone number, or we don't know if you're working with us. If you can just confirm that, it'll be great. I'll be able to come back and answer that question for you. Thank you. It's a very important question, so I'll be happy to answer that. Please do come back and tell me. Okay, so let me quickly switch and see if YouTube has some questions for me. Rojo says, I myself turning 30 this year, have total 6 years of experience in marketing and sales. So he's also looking at a resident visa. Did MBA in marketing and HR, which course would be better for me to take the course? Please tell me about. And we've got Eldo Poluso who also asked a question. Guys, can you please, whoever is asking questions, could you please give us your phone number, especially Rojo and Eldo. And we've got Shivangi. Shivangi, you have to ask me a question, because I see that you're an AJV client. You're working with Lydia, but I do not have your query there. So if you can paste your query, I'll be able to answer that for you. Okay. Right. Next question we've got Reno C. Johnson. Says, hi Mary, whether Immigration New Zealand is still processing the SMC resident visa during this lockdown, or have they stopped processing all SMC applications, or that INZ cancelled selection of from EOI? Reno, it's I know you're based here in New Zealand, and so I'll quickly answer that for you. At this stage, all we know is that they have suspended decisions of EOIs at this stage. They're not accepting any paper applications as well. I spoke to Immigration New Zealand last week. They are unable to accept anything because many of them are still at home. They are not working. And because of a lot of security concerns, they won't be able to operate from home as well. Hence, nothing is, happening on a big front here in New Zealand when it comes to applications. Immigration New Zealand is only for focusing on essential skilled workers, essential workers like doctors and nurses and people who need their visas to be extended to stay here and work. On those areas, they're only focusing on them. And so SMCs, as far as my understanding goes, right now they're not processing anything purely because their offices are not open. So well, we'll have to just wait and see how it goes. Yeah. Okay. Bishal Jung Basnet says, how long is the border closed for? Well, we don't know. And are they going to stick to those rules? Which are they going to change on mid 2020? Again, Bishal, I don't have an answer for that. We don't know. Okay. So we don't know. Unfortunately, all I can say right now is we don't know, because Immigration New Zealand is going through a lot of challenges themselves, and they're trying to work things out. They're trying to focus on the people that need support the most. honestly, border restrictions to be lifted and all that is probably not what they are focusing on at the moment. That's not a concern for them, because all they want to ensure is to keep the people here in New Zealand safe, and the New Zealanders entering into New Zealand, to keep them safe, and to ensure that there is not much community transmission. So the way the country and its leaders are working is to focus on things that are most important, and it's the people that they are here. It is they are treating migrants and residents alike, the New Zealanders alike. We have not seen any difference in the way things are being managed. They are very, very careful. They are being very they are ensuring that everybody is happy. There is no difference the way the government is supporting right now. Migrants and New Zealanders are treated alike. We're getting our support in terms of our wage subsidy and everything. Everything is managed very, very beautifully. So I can't really tell you about these things because it's something that could happen or could not happen in the future. I cannot comment on this. Yeah, sorry. Okay, what will happen if people who are overseas and work visa over here? Can they come back or not? Again, right now it's only for essential workers that the borders are open. So I would say you'll have to just wait and see how things work out. Right. We've got another YouTube query from Omar Isa. He says, "What are the requirement of financial undertaking from a parent?" Okay. Omar, I'm sorry, but I don't know what do you mean by that, because it's not clear as to what exactly you mean by what's a financial undertaking from a parent. If you can give me a slight background information as to what exactly do you mean by that, I'll be able to elaborate. Thanks for your number, Omar. Thank you. Rohit, he says, "Hi, how are the job opportunities for automation test engineer?" Rohit, can you please give us your number? And I'll be able to come back and answer that for you. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Let's see if I've missed any questions. Okay. Couple of you who have not given me a phone number, I request you to please come back and do that. Adil Ahmed, and we've got Omyeni, and we've got Satpal. Satpal, I've already answered your question though. Okay. Albin, Uchita, Deep, Syed, can you guys please give me your phone number so that I'll be able to answer that for you, answer your questions? Okay. Let's see. Okay, Rohit has given us your number. Okay, Rohit, hi. So I'm not sure if you're already looking at the student pathway or not, but by and large, there is a good requirement in New Zealand for all engineers. It is in the long-term skill shortage list. That means that there is an ongoing requirement and shortage of people in these areas. So yes, there is good opportunities. So if you do come to study as one of the engineering areas, you will get a 3 years post study work visa if you study a PG diploma or higher. So yes, there is a good possibility you'll be able to find yourself a job post your studies here in New Zealand, Rohit. So my team will connect with you, and please do discuss your options with them. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so do we have any more questions? I see a few people watching the stream. We've got a few on YouTube and Facebook. So we've got another 15 minutes, guys. If you do have any questions, I would recommend you to ask me now. It'll be easy for me to address them. Okay. Team, is there anything else that you'd like me to talk about? Okay. So my team has nothing to say. Okay, we've got some comment here. Vinod Kundu says, what is the scope of digital marketing? Vinod, can you please share your contact details? Or if you're an AJV client, do mention that information. Once you do that, I'll answer that question for you. Thank you. The weather's changed quite a bit for us here in New Zealand. It's gone cold. Our heaters are on. Our warm blankets are out. We tend to keep something warm everywhere around the house because it tends to get really, really cold. But yeah. Okay, so do we have any more questions? Okay, so we've got Hussein Shada who says transfer is possible. Hussein, I don't know what your question means. Also, please give me a phone number. Vinod, can you please tell me what's your phone number? Can you please share your phone number so that I'll be able to answer that question? Yes, digital marketing is a very, very important aspect right now, especially with the current situation. I'd say digital marketing is probably one of the big areas that a lot of businesses are focusing on. Why don't you just share your phone number so that I can talk a little bit more about that? Thank you. Okay, so we've got Omar who's come back and asked a question. He says, can a PhD student apply for residency while studying, or would INZ consider that as not as bona fide? Omar, yeah, you're asking questions that seem to be completely unrelated. I'm not sure why. Okay. Because you're talking about financial undertaking and then you're talking about resident visa here. Okay. Okay, Omar, I'd request you to please send me an email to info@ajvglobal.com, because you're based in a country not which is not in India. Sorry, in a city not in India. So this inquiry will most likely come to me, and I would like to discuss what are your plans one-on-one with us. So can you send us an email to actually you can write to this ID directly, which comes to my team, which is immigrationadvisor@ajvglobal.com. I'd really like to discuss your opportunities directly with you. It'll either be myself or one of my team members will connect with you. Do share your CV and all your questions in that email. Yeah, it's in immigrationadvisor@ajvglobal.com. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Vinod, you're telling me about your profile in 4 different messages, but you're not giving me your contact details. Yeah, so can you please give me your contact details so that I can answer this question for you? Thank you. Soju Verghese says, is any problem for student visa because of coronavirus? Because I'm looking for July intake. Soju, can you please give me your details, or let me know if you're working with AJV? I'll be able to answer that question. I mean, it's at the moment applications are not being processed. However, Migration New Zealand is accepting applications and we are filing applications so that we at least submit them. And whenever immigration reopens, even at least the onshore offices are reopened, there's a possibility they'll start processing student visa applications. We're doing this in a positive hope, and to ensure, if students do have the required funds and documents, we are submitting the applications. So if you're working with us, you would have already had that answer. So it looks like you're not working with us, and please do contact us. If you haven't submitted your student visa application, it is important that you have somebody knowledgeable who can present your application in the right manner, irrespective of whatever challenges we have, and we're very good at that. So please do talk to us, Soju. Thank you. Okay. Okay, guys, we've got about under 10 minutes. If you've got any other questions, I'd request you to please ask now. All those who have not given me your phone numbers, if you can come back and add your numbers, I'll be able to answer to your questions, or we could wrap up. Right. Team, is there anything else you'd like me to touch base on? We've been doing some amazing training sessions with my team. Um, every day we spend about 3 hours talking about various cases, various scenarios. uh, our team is now getting, what do you say, equipped like an army. We are already good. We are trying to go from good to great. Okay, so our team is undergoing rigorous training in a lot of aspects, and it's an amazing time, even though it's not as busy as it would normally be. But then we are having people. What's interesting and impressing during this unprecedented time as well, that a lot of people are still contacting us with staying positive. I think that's important. Looking forward to a future, looking forward positively to a future is very, very important. Especially a lot of you may be working from home, maybe studying from home, or some of you unfortunately may have also lost your jobs. But what you need to understand is that there is always light at the end of the tunnel, and things will change for good. Things will change for, there's always a new day. So we admire, and we are very, very impressed by all those who are looking forward, who are staying positive, because that's what we are doing as a team. We wake up every day. We don't know what to expect from the day, but we wake up every day and we are talking to all of our clients, keeping everybody positive. And not once you will find any hesitation from any of our team members saying that, oh, things may not work out. You will never get that vibe from us, because we are a very, very positive team. And while there are a lot of companies who are scrambling to understand how to even have their operations online, how to work remotely, we have already been doing this for over 6 years. We have done it, tried and tested. We are already, so once when the lockdown had been announced, we really had no impact. We were like, okay, it's only the New Zealand team had to. We were a bit upset that oh, we can't wear our fancy clothes and go to work, or sit and have lunch together and gossip about things. We are also, our office is located right in the city center, so we have a lot of fun during the day. We see people passing by, and we've got our neighbors, our Immigration New Zealand office, so we meet a lot of people from there on a daily basis. And we do eat a lot of good food and stuff like that. So that's the only thing that we miss. Otherwise, I think we are a super, super enthu team. And I think for you to look forward for a bright future, you have to work with a team like this, who can be with you no matter what the challenges are. And probably this is one of the most important challenges, where you are not able to meet your agent, but is your agency capable enough of dealing with your application even while working remotely? Because countries like India and Sri Lanka and Nepal, we are a very touch and feel kind of market. Unless we go to somebody's office and sit down and talk, we're not convinced, because there are a lot of fraudsters in the industry. There are a lot of people who will cheat, who will take money and run away and things like that. But we have set an example, a benchmark of having being the company being the most transparent and reliable, even though we all work from home. Till about last year July, we all work from home. 36 of us work from home. Only last year, 6 of us have started going to the New Zealand Hamilton office, and that is the only team that works from an office. But now again, we are back in our home offices. You can see I'm doing my live session, and at home, it's what, 10:30 in the night. My son's gone to bed, and we are doing it with so much ease. And I think our comfort level with this kind of a setup, irrespective of these challenges, is the reason why you should work with us. Because when so many others will be still trying to understand how to deal with the situation, we are already on the path of excelling in this particular work structure. And no matter what, we will see you through. And that is also evident with all our student successes. You can talk to any of our students and understand how well their applications have been managed, irrespective of where we had been working from. So that's what it is. So I'll just sorry, there were some questions that have come and I'll quickly answer those before we run out of time. Okay, Gokul Naidu says, tell me about investment visa, please inbox me details. Gokul, we'd expect for an email from you. It'll be best if you can send us an email to info@ajvglobal.com and you will receive the information. Please do provide details of your profile and what kind of investment you're looking at, and one of our team members will provide the information required. Thank you. Nabin Kishore Karel says, I'm 30 years old, live in Australia for 8 years legally. Education is advanced diploma in information technology, but experience in cookery for you. Okay, interesting. IT guy in cookery. Okay. I'm a Nepalese citizen. Okay. So, what would you like to do, Nabin? You have said that you've given me a profile. If you're looking at direct migration, of course, it's out of question. But I would recommend you to send us an email. You can directly send it to info@ajvglobal.com and it'll be redirected to my team here in New Zealand. Let's see what opportunities are available. If you do have experience in cookery, maybe you could apply online and see for jobs. But as I said, it's very difficult for employers to offer any jobs for overseas based applicants. A lot of times applications are directly filtered out by the system for applicants applying from overseas. That is why you don't even sometimes receive any kind of responses to the CVs, because the system filters it out directly. So what we could do, Naveen, is let's explore and see what we can do with your profile. Both IT and culinary arts are in the long-term skill shortage, but let's see how we can help you out. So just to send us an email at info@ajvglobal.com and we'll help you. Thank you, Nabin. We have another client here, also from Nepal, whose name is Nabin, and yeah, that's good. Okay, and the last comment of the day is my dear friend O'Neill. O'Neill and his family are our clients. They're based in Wellington. O'Neill, I hope you guys are well. Okay, thanks for your compliment. So he says there's no other agency better than AJV Global. AJV is the only migration agency if you are choosing New Zealand. We are so honored. Thank you so much, O'Neill, and we love the support that you constantly provide yourself and your wife Anita. I hope you guys are well. Right, so we're almost time to wrap up. Let's quickly see if there are any other questions. Okay, YouTube does not have any questions. Facebook, I think we're going to close out with O'Neill's beautiful compliment. Thank you very much, guys, and we hope you and your families are safe. Please save the world by staying at home from your couch watching Netflix, but do take care of yourself. We also know that a lot of you might be going through a lot of mental issues, staying home and not having to do anything. But yeah, I think our live sessions, we've got about 100 odd episodes. So if you are passionate and you love New Zealand, I think you should watch all our, you should probably put Netflix aside and watch all our live sessions. Trust me, it will pep you up. Okay, so thank you so much, guys. Stay safe, stay home, and keep watching, like and share our live videos with your family and friends. We have live sessions every other day, so we do have my two other beautiful colleagues from India will also be doing their sessions this week, Tilaka and Navya. Both are Delhiites, licensed immigration advisors, ex-INZ officers. So it'll be great for you to tune in. Thank you very much and good night. Ka kite ano.